everyone, back again, brand new Cabral HouseCall, answered another 5 or 6 questions from our community, dedicated to answering 10 to 12 questions every single weekend from the community, and love to be able to do that. I really feel connected to people wherever they may be. Maybe it's Australia or our friends in Europe or Canada or wherever you are in the world. We'd love to hear from you. We love to connect with you. And so without further ado, let's see what questions have come in this weekend. All right, second house call of the weekend, episode 3033. If you want to follow along with today's questions, head on over to stephencabral.com/3033. Let's dive in. First question's from Kay. Kay says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thank you and your team for everything you do. It made a big difference in my life and my clients." I'm happy to hear that, Kay. Thank you for letting us know. I truly appreciate that, because I don't get to speak with all of you. I really don't. I mean, I wish that I was able to, but we've got a large community. We want that, right? We want to reach more and more people, and I don't always get to connect one-on-one. So I love when you write in and you let me know that you're seeing results, but I'm also okay with the struggles. I want to help with the struggles too. So again, just obviously always let us know. And just want to let you know, we can meet one-on-one. Would love to see you. My team would love to see you as well. All of you from the community, plus you get to connect with others in the community, which is even greater this October. Head on over to rhsevent.com. If that doesn't take you over there, it's called the Reimagining Health Summit, talking about the future of health today. That's what I want for all of you. I hope to see you there. All right. Next up is Kay, and Kay is saying, "I recently completed the 21-day detox, and I'm currently doing the heavy metals. Estrogen balance for 60 days, wrapping up in 2 weeks, and then moving into the CBO protocol, following de-stress protocol, daily sauna, restorative workouts, meditation, breath work. I've missed my menstrual cycle twice since starting the protocols. I did feel like I was PMSing, cramping, or emotions, but no cycle. I did lose weight with the functional medicine detox 21-day, but I have been lighter, leaner without amenorrhea. I have bumped up my carbs and healthy fats and put on 3 pounds since missing the first cycle to guard against it. I'm wondering what else I can do to restore my cycle." All right, okay, I think I remember you from yesterday. Again, I don't pre-plan any of these questions, but I think it was you yesterday, but if not, that's okay as well. Could be someone totally different. Let's answer your question. So it sounds like you're doing amazing, right? So you probably ran the stress hormone metabolism test. You found out you had estrogen dominance. You might have run the whole big 5, might have found out you had gut issues. Either way, you're following the protocols. You're doing the CBO protocol. You did the functional medicine detox. You're doing the estrogen balance. You had a little bit imbalanced hormones. Having estrogen balance and adding a greater stressor can cause the cessation of a menstrual cycle. So let's say that you were just to do a really long fast, or you were to do really hard workouts or anything like that. That's a new stress in the body. Sometimes women can lose their cycle. It doesn't even happen 1 out of 100. It's less than 1%, but it does happen. And we've seen hundreds of thousands of women in our practice. Like, that's legitimate. And so, because 70% of our practice is women, about 30% men. So I can assure you that we've seen this quite often. Just like you're doing, it's perfect, right? So your protocols are wrapping up. It's less stress on the body. You are maybe going down a little bit in sauna, like you're doing your sauna, but not overly stressing the body, not overstressing it through your workouts. You're doing some great things. You're doing restorative work, meditation, breath work, all that. And you added in a little bit more healthy carbs and healthy fats, gained a couple pounds. Love to see that. That's going to help with your cycle. You wrote in 2 months ago. You wrote in March 11th. So I'm willing to bet, I wish I was able to talk with you right now, I'm willing to bet your cycle's already come back. Because once you get that estrogen balance under control, you're decreasing the stressors, you're decreasing the long fasting. I'm telling you, that cycle is going to rebound. We see it every single day. If it doesn't, rerun the stress hormone metabolism test. You don't even have to worry about all the other labs for right now. Rerun the stress hormone metabolism test. We'll get you the answers that you're looking for. All right? All right, Katie's up next. "Hello, Dr. Cabral, big fan here. So thankful to be able to learn something new from you on a daily basis. Thank you, Katie, for tuning into the show daily. Appreciate that. Just curious your thoughts on Chlorella and if you take them. Just started 2 weeks ago and looking forward to achieving all the benefits it has to offer. Also been taking creatine and have seen some fat weight gain, but do the same things and weight train 3 times a week. Cardio 2 through 3 times a week. I've heard different things, like you may gain weight from it. Any help is appreciated. Thanks for your time." Okay, so first and foremost, my overall philosophy on nutritional supplements: great diet first, nutritional supplements, supplement a great diet. Now, people talk about all the fun ones: creatine. great supplement. Not going to say it's not. Chlorella can be a great supplement. Not saying that it's not. What we need to do first, foundational. Daily activated multivitamin or the daily nutritional support. Next up, daily fruit and vegetable blend. Contains 22 organic fruits, vegetables, and superfoods. That includes chlorella and spirulina. Okay, so it already has that in there. Next up, daily omega-3 support. 2 grams of no mercury, triglyceride bound, non-oxidized omega-3s. Right there. Daily probiotic support. We've got the gut health. What would come after that? Vitamin D. Okay, let's take care of our vitamin D. Next up after that, maybe balanced zinc. A lot of people are low on zinc levels, so we might use that. Okay, so we're using our foundational ones first. Maybe some magnesium, maybe whatever it is that you need. Again, always run what's called the vitamin tox test or the starter kit. You can find that at stephencabral.com/shop. That'll give you all your vitamin levels and all your mineral levels. So that's how you know what you need or if you're satisfying those. Okay, then chlorella. Can chlorella be used in a larger amount? Sure. We use it in a larger amount, but only during the heavy metal detox. Heavy metal detox we recommend to do once a year. Contains higher levels of chlorella. You can find the heavy metal detox we use. Again, everything will be at stephencabral.com/shop. Takes you over to EcoLife. That's our global functional medicine practice and integrative health practice. All right. So yes, I like chlorella and I use it every year for 8 weeks at a higher dosage during the heavy metal detox. And then on a daily basis in my daily fruit and vegetable blend, I use that every single day. So that's that. Creatine. I no longer take creatine. I've been taking creatine in about a decade. It doesn't mean I don't think it's a great supplement. I actually do think it's a great supplement. So why don't I take it then? There's only so many supplements in the world you can take, right? Like, well, you can actually take as many as you want. I'm not saying that. But what I do is, and I teach this in high performance health, there's 4 tiers to supplements. And then you're always saying, which one do I need? What would be nice to have? So if you want more strength and you want more muscle size, creatine is an excellent one. As people get older, they may also want to look more at creatine, like 65 plus. But why don't I use it? Again, it's one more. I don't need or want at this point in my life anymore that I need to put on more muscle. So I'm 5'8". I weigh about 170 pounds because I put on about another 3 pounds to 5 pounds over the last 8 weeks, not even on purpose, but I started to train my legs more and my legs just put on more muscle. Now I've already had this muscle. I've been 200 pounds in my life. So it's not like this is kind of new muscle. It is new muscle, but I've already been there. So it's not hard for me to kind of put it back on, but I'm well over my healthy BMI now. And I'm not saying that I'm like out of shape. I need to worry about these things. I get it, but I don't need to gain more weight. Creatine, some people retain more water weight. Yes, it doesn't mean that it's fat. It may be more water. That's what it is for most people. I wouldn't get as involved with the scale on that. How do you look? How do you feel? Go by those specific things. And I'm going to leave it there. So I think I answered your question. I spent a long time on it. Hopefully that was helpful. All right, we've got to move on. Kelsey's up next. Hi, Dr. Bral. I've noticed that I have a decent spike in glucose on my continuous glucose monitor with activity and weight training and sauna. Does the benefit of resistance training and detoxing from the sauna outweigh the cortisol spike? Totally agree with you. I've been trying to preach this for years. Stress from caffeine, from sauna, from weight training can spike cortisol levels. Does that mean that we shouldn't do it? No, right? It doesn't mean that we shouldn't. Caffeine, maybe, yeah, maybe we should do that on caffeine. Maybe we should go lower caffeine and more decaf, right? Organic, mold-free coffee, high antioxidants can still be beneficial. So the thing is, we want to look at what can we do to mitigate that. If you don't need to lose weight, well, you can blunt cortisol response by actually having a pre-workout or peri-workout. Now, will it raise your CGM? Sure, but that means then it may be blunting cortisol. If you're fasted doing sauna, fasted doing weight training, yeah, you can absolutely get that cortisol spike. And just depending on the last time you ate, are you going to break down muscle tissue? Are you going to break down liver glycogen? Really looking at that. But no, I actually believe that as they say, juice is worth the squeeze. So you just want to balance all of these things truthfully. And that's why usually we want our weight training workouts earlier in the day. Now, I don't do mine till 4:30, 5 o'clock at night. That's when I can do it. So we always just have to make it work in our life. That's when I can make it work in my life. So I still do it, but I've learned over the years, truthfully, I've really learned over the years how to blunt this response. I do a pre and peri workout nutrition shake for my weight training days, not necessarily my cardio days. I eat about a half hour after the weight training itself. What else? I don't do any caffeine, very, very little. It's just in the AM and it's after breakfast. I do sauna. That's earlier in the day as well. Like it could be at my workout or before. So you'll find the balance, but making sure that you get good recovery at night. That's one of those big things as well. And I don't think that, and I should say, I know that you don't need to keep your blood sugar at 80 the entire day. You really don't. Contrary to what other people are telling you, I'm not saying there's benefits to getting a spike to 200, but there are benefits to fluctuations where your body, your thyroid, your leptin levels, your cortisol, it's fed. Different when you're fasted and spikes, totally different story, but hopefully that was helpful. All right. Greg's up next. Greg says, hi, Dr. Ball. Have you heard about turkesterone I heard you talk about turkesterone on a previous podcast. Are you familiar with Beta-Ecdysterone? If so, what are your thoughts on it, and would you recommend it over other natural forms of steroids? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, this is great. So I love talking about old things, especially fitness and weight training. Like it used to be, it's still a big part of my life. Like I love to train. I really do. I don't know. I've just always loved it. Possibly because I used to play sports in high school and I played sports all the way through my senior year. And then I got a terrible Achilles tendon injury, and I never weight trained before that. I just did body weight push-ups, that type of stuff, pull-ups, etc. And then I got deep into weight training. I loved it. And then I got right into nutrition and personal training. And that was like a savior for me. It really was, because I couldn't heal the insides, as I always say, but I could fix the outside of my body. And for me, yeah, I loved it. So back in my day, there was none of these things. There was androstenedione and androstenediol, I remember, people could use and get, but there wasn't any of these. These are like legitimate, not that the others weren't, they were legitimate as well. But, there's legitimate science on this. And there's actually better science on Beta-Ecdysterone than there is on turkesterone. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but you get the drift. And there's a whole nother podcast on this if you want to look for it at stephencabral.com/podcast. So these are basically plant-based steroids, for lack of a better word, from nature. They're obviously extracts and they're concentrates. What do? They improve protein synthesis. So that means that your weight training and the protein that you then eat, you get better results. I mean, that's the bottom line. You take these and you get better results. What does that mean? Faster recovery. That's super important, right? So you recover faster, you get stronger, and your muscles grow larger. It's legitimate. They work. So you might say, well, why don't you use them? Because I would have used these probably in my early 20s because I wasn't going to use steroids, but if there was something natural, maybe I'd give it a shot. I used creatine back then. I used glutamine back then. I ate a ton of protein, all those different things. I don't do those things now because I don't believe that they're pro longevity. And at this point in my life, it's just different. My priorities are different than when I was in my early 20s or mid 20s. It's just different. I'm in my mid 40s now. It's 20 years later from that part of my life. And I've got 2 daughters. It's just different priorities. But there's nothing wrong with taking them. Like it's not, so I just want to share that with people because doesn't mean that other people can't. I do want you to understand that there are consequences of taking these things. There are potential consequences. So it can be potential issues with the prostate, potential issues with gynecomastia, increase in breast tissue for men. There are potential side effects. So I don't want to say that there are none. They're not well studied enough that we can say, oh, yeah, these things are completely safe. Now, are they more safe than taking anabolic synthetic-based steroids? I would say yes, but I'm not giving you medical advice. So no medical advice, no medical treatment plans, no medical cures or medical diagnosis. If I was to take, ecdysterone, which works on the actual ecdysterone-based receptors in the body, or turkesterone, over a DECA or something like that, yeah, I would absolutely use the more natural version, which I would assume to be much safer. And I would look at liver toxicity levels and those types of things. So hopefully that's helpful in at least getting you started. All right. I think that was only 1, 2, 3, 4. I hate answering less than 5 questions. We're going to get in one more question for the day. They've been great ones, but spend a little bit more time on it. Safine is up next. I've greatly benefited from your podcast. I'm a 42-year-old male with no history of chronic illness. I discovered about a year ago that my TH levels are significantly elevated, above 20 or 30. That is high, by the way. For everybody out there who doesn't know TSH, it stands for thyroid stimulating hormone. Normal levels are between 0.5 and 2. Anything above 5 is considered to be low thyroid, hypothyroidism, right? But I'm not giving you a diagnosis. So 20 or 30 is very high. Though my T3 and T4 levels are nearly normal, one of my symptoms is difficulty getting back to sleep at night and feeling sleepy while reading otherwise. I don't experience severe hypothyroidism symptoms despite taking prescribed levothyroxine. My TSH still remains above normal. My doctor suggested inconsistency in taking the medication or improper storage as possible reasons. I'm curious if there are other natural methods to reduce TSH. Also, how does high TSH affect hair transplant outcomes? Unfortunately, I don't have access to integrative health practitioners in my area. Thank you for your guidance. Okay, so here's the thing. All of this and so much more is available at stevencabral.com/courses. Click on the thyroid one. If you want to know everything that you need to know about healing your thyroid legitimately, it's at stevencabral.com/courses. Click on the thyroid one. You don't have to use it, of course, if you don't want to. It's 4.5 hours of, it's like reading 12 books just on thyroid. So I just give you exactly what you need to know, how the thyroid malfunctions, how to repair it, like straightforward, exactly what to do. So for Safin though, obviously I want to help. So here's what I would do. I would run the stress mood and metabolism test. If you can, it's going to go into, yes, your TSH, but it's going to look at free T3, free T4, and TPO antibodies. I don't know if you've tested for antibodies. It's also going to look at elevated cortisol levels, especially at night. Okay, could be one of the reasons why you're not getting back to sleep. Could be one of the reasons why your TSH is elevated. It's going to look at estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and DHEA. Then it's going to look at your insulin levels and hemoglobin A1C and your vitamin D levels. Very comprehensive test. I recommend it for everybody to run at least once a year as part of the Big Five, or you can run it on its own. And you can find that. It's called the Stress Mood and Metabolism Test at stevencabral.com/shop. Or you can begin. So it's so hard for me to say, hey, just begin a thyroid healing protocol, because a thyroid healing protocol is predicated on what are the deficiencies you have and what are the toxicities. Could be vitamins and minerals. Could be high levels of cortisol at night. So in an ideal world, you're on the Big Five. If you can't, you'll at least run the stress mood and metabolism test. So that's what I would do. Yes, because you can absolutely heal this for sure, especially if your T3 and T4 are normal and it's just your TSH that's elevated. So just kind of keep it in mind, because I could go off on a whole seminar right now on thyroid. And I have so many free thyroid podcasts, of course, as well as at stevencabral.com/podcast. You can just scroll through and find thyroid. So your brain, your hypothalamus, and your pituitary gland are signaling to your thyroid right here below in the Adam's apple to produce more thyroid stimulating hormone. That's what's going on right now. So why is your brain sending signals to your thyroid to produce more thyroid stimulating hormone? We can figure that out. Conventional medicine will not figure that out. We can figure it out because we're looking at the underlying root causes. So hopefully that's helpful. And of course, everything from our practice, we open source. If you want to find out more information about all the labs we use, the protocols, etc., head on over to stevencabral.com/shop. That'll take you right over to EqualLife. Hopefully this was helpful. I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Mindset and Motivation Monday. Don't miss it, everybody. Take care. I'll talk with you then. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.